Hello, friends. Welcome back to Entitled People, and a Happy New Year to you all. Great story, OP. Also, screw them. People deserve a living wage. You can do without your hideous fourth mansion. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Fired after coming back from paternity leave. Saw a post about family businesses and wanted to share my story. Background. I took 2 months off, Canadian paternity leave, to stay with my wife and newborn. It was honestly the best weeks of my life. I work at a small family-owned business as a technician. I was on very good terms with the owner and his wife, even though I've heard and seen them treat other employees like crap. Imagine that we are always right and never wrong. If something we did goes wrong, it was because of you. Fast forward 2 weeks, and I'm sitting in HR's office, who is the owner's wife and service manager, telling me that I'm not performing at the level they need from me. I was working flawlessly, heck, even pushing harder now that I have a child. Wait, but you haven't even sat me down and given me a warning, I asked? I think you felt this coming for a while now, so it shouldn't be a surprise, she replied without even making eye contact. I've been back 2 weeks and working harder than I have before I left. Is it because I'm getting paid more than some senior techs? I'm a junior technician, but I negotiated for a higher pay. They hired 2 senior guys who were awesome work buddies, but I know they accepted menial salaries. You just aren't a good fit for this company, and we wish you the best, they said without making eye contact, and handed me my letter. On my way out, I see the owner hiding around the kitchen and see the techs at the table. Hey guys, it's been great working with you. Let's stay in touch. By the way, I made it X amount an hour, so you guys might want to ask for more. Cue angry yelling from the owners and shock on the employees' faces. Now here's the good part. I was already looking for another job during pat leave and had an interview in 2 days. I also got 2 weeks severance since they fired me. I got the job halfway through the interview and am now getting paid almost $20,000 more and haven't heard a single bad thing about this company. F toxic family businesses. They'll never treat you as an equal, and you always can find something better, my kings and queens. Good for you, and congratulations. I hope the other techs stand up and ask for what they're worth. My guess would be one of the jobs you applied to called them for a reference and that upset them. Family businesses are just goofy jerks trying to sway people to work in crappy conditions in the name of supporting local. And our second story. My reflective vest makes me an employee, I guess? This just happened about a week ago. For context, I'm a big tattooed guy with a near 2-foot-long beard, long hair, and I'm in a wheelchair. When I'm not in my manual one, I'm in one of the mobility aids. I have bad nerve damage in my legs from various things, so walking for me is pretty painful for more than a handful of steps. Where I live, people are so oblivious to people in wheelchairs, I've almost been run over in parking lots around my city. So I went to the same major American chain store where this story takes place and bought myself a reflective vest. It's high visibility green, orange stripes, and the reflective strips. I love it. The day in question, I wore my black cap of my favorite football team, my big Carhartt jacket with the reflective vest over it, some jeans, and another matching high-vis green shirt with blue jeans and sneakers. The uniform of this major chain, you all know the one, are either blue or yellow vests with a little symbol on it, with the name of the store on the back. I just climbed into one of the aids and was beginning to do my shopping when I heard it. If I was a certain video game character from a major franchise, a red exclamation mark would have appeared over my head. I could only think, oh no. Excuse me, came the shrill call of a wild Karen. Yes, I asked, as polite as I could, knowing exactly where this was going. Sir, I need to know where the diapers are. Can you tell me? She asked, sounding like someone had just farted in her general direction and she was desperately trying not to gag. A veteran of reading and listening to the I Don't Work Here stories and generally an anxious person, I was already tired and decided I had 10 flips to give. I don't work here, lady, I told in as flat, frank a voice as I could project. I looked like I should have been working as a flagger for some graveyard road restoration project, not a major American store employee. Yes, you do. For the love of God, you're wearing a reflective vest, which means you're an employee here. Tell me where the diapers are. How about no? Not just no, but F no. Go F yourself. Leave me alone. And as if life followed the usual script without missing a beat, excuse me? How dare you speak to me that way? Ugh, like this. Go fudge yourself. At that point, I decided to leave her huffing and tried to wheel away at half the speed of smell when I felt her grab my jacket. I've been assaulted multiple times from behind, and this is one of my biggest triggers. I snapped my head back at her and something to the effect of, "You let go of my jacket or I'm going to shove my foot so far up your rear end you're going to need the water on my knee to quench your thirst." She let go, but proceeded to cuss me out, called me fat, lazy, a deranged tattooed psycho, lamented she wasn't sure how I got hired, but was pretty confident it was because of my disability, and then she said the magic words, "Take me to your manager." Now again, having listened to too many of these stories, and anyone that knows me will tell you I'm a snarky guy, I love jokes, and practical ones at that. "Fine, this way," I instructed. I hadn't put anything in my cart yet, so I wheeled my way to the front of the store. I'm on a first-name basis with the lead overnight manager there, since I'm in the store on average of about twice a week. For the purposes of this story, we'll call her Maggie. Maggie's looking at one of those price checker machines and seemed to be doing some kind of late-night inventory when I called out to her. She sees me and at first smiles, but then frowns when she sees the Karen following me. I wheeled up right next to her and said, "Hey Maggie, I hate to say this, but I made this customer pretty mad at me and was pretty rude. I'm going on my 30-minute break now, but we can talk about it later. I'll sign whatever write-up I get, and well, if you fire me after this, it was nice working with you." Maggie clearly has a WTF look on her face, but before she could ask me for clarification, I just wheeled off. Karen starts ripping into me, the store, and to a lesser extent Maggie for allowing such a bum like me to work there. As I began my victory lap around the store, Karen is so loud I can hear her shout all the way from electronics. "What do you mean he doesn't work here? Somebody needs to be fired for this." I'm full-on rumble belly laughing at this point as I continued my circuit of the store. When I returned to the front, Maggie has her arms folded and just shakes her head at me in that, "What am I going to do with you" way. We had a good laugh and she asked if I was okay though. I waved it off, stating that I worked in customer service for 15 years, so this was nothing. She bought me some of my favorite candy as a reward for making her laugh. Update. At the request of one of the comments down below, I contacted Maggie to see what happened to the Karen. She was banned from not only that store, but the surrounding stores in the area as well, since she's been super rude and Karen-y to managers at virtually every store of that franchise within a 20-mile radius. Maggie threatened to have her arrested for assault of a disabled person, and that threat must have been like a cross to a vampire, because that sent the Karen running. Assault charges may have put her in her place. Of course, there is the inconvenience you'd go through dealing with it all. Well done. I hope Maggie banned the wild Karen. The twist of taking the Karen to the manager in the subsequent victory lap adds a delightful layer of humor. The OP's snarky attitude and the unexpected ending make it an entertaining tale of malicious compliance. Karen's over-the-top reaction and subsequent ban from multiple stores add a satisfying conclusion to this amusing narrative. And our last story. Purchased home with no HOA, but I just purchased a home mostly because it was the only one we could find that absolutely had no HOA, because we have multiple vehicles and my husband likes to work on them in the driveway, and we have a car hauler we needed to be able to park in the backyard, etc. This was 100% a requirement for us to buy a home that there was no HOA. The Zillow listing, the contract, purchase agreement, and the disclosure statement from sellers all say no HOA. The neighborhood did previously have one many years ago, but we were told it was abolished. This is the third home we've tried to purchase in the same neighborhood, all under the impression there was no HOA. Well, my husband was talking to the neighbors, and two different ones mentioned the HOA, and one even mowed our grass while we were moving in and said he didn't want the HOA to leave a fine on our door. Edit. Let me clarify. The cars he works on are classic cars, not junk cars. The car hauler is an enclosed racing trailer for traveling to car shows with said cars. We're in the woods on 2 acres with no behind neighbors. This is the exact reason we required no HOA when purchasing a home so we could park our things. This is the third home we've purchased and never had any issues with any neighbors. The car hauler is in the backyard, wooded area, out of sight from the street, and the cars are kept in the garage, other than when he's working on them because it's too hot to do it inside. Please don't pass judgment before you know the facts. Another edit. We did have an attorney. It's a VA loan, so everything was gone through meticulously. We're friends with our realtor, and she knew no HOA was non-negotiable for us purchasing a home, and we both researched top to bottom on every house we were interested in. We put an offer on 2 other homes on the same street, but got outbid. Both also stated in listing description on Zillow, specifically no HOA. We have 2 daily drivers, and we have 1 vintage race car for car shows and a '67 Camaro he's restoring. We also have a side-by-side and dirt bike since we live in the woods and like to go riding. The car hauler's a luxury travel trailer to bring the cars to shows that costs about $220K. Not that it should make any difference. All vehicles are titled and registered and stored in garage unless being worked on or driven since we live in the South and the garage has no AC. The neighbors didn't mention it out of spite. One was making a joke because our lawn was a mess and we moved in, and the other one mentioned it in friendly conversation to my husband. No one has complained. We've purchased 3 homes because my husband moved for his job every 3 years. We've never been evicted. There might be an HOA, but your house/property might not be a part of it. Do not get tricked into joining. Discovering a potential HOA after being assured otherwise is undoubtedly frustrating. It's crucial to leverage the documented information stating no HOA in your negotiations or legal discussions. Open communication with your neighbors and possibly seeking legal advice can help navigate this unexpected situation. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.